If you think Wicked for Good is gonna be some 1930s throwback, reliving your childhood, you might be disappointed. You actually might be terrified. This is not your father's Wizard of Oz story. Welcome back to screenzen. Thank you for joining me. First off, I always have to thank my subscribers. You guys have been holding me down for a while now. We're getting new ones. This community is growing. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe so you don't miss any new content that I'm putting out. First off, this still looks beautiful. Like from Wicked for Good, didn't miss a beat. The landscape, the Emerald City, the set pieces, just like the first one, was just as impressive. I love that they made a movie about this because one, the story lends itself to being told cinematically, but it's different when you read it. Broadway, you're getting it from one angle, from close-up shots that are truly terrifying to being able to see things from other characters' perspective as things are happening. I really enjoyed that. It just transported their spirit, or the spirit of the Wicked story, onto the full screen. Perfect. Now, speaking of the Broadway, this movie actually brings two new songs into the Wicked that, you're not going to see on the Broadway. A lot of people are saying that it wasn't needed, but quite honestly, probably didn't even notice. It wasn't like the live action Lion King where you can tell that they added songs in by Lin-Manuel Miranda, the hibbity dibbity dibbity dip. Like, it just sounds completely different. The new song, No Place Like Home, was sung by Cynthia. The Girl in the Bubble was Ariana Grande. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes. The acting commitment was 100%. I was looking for anything that was maybe different from the first, but I didn't see anything. Everyone gave 100% again, okay? But when we're talking about acting, we actually have to give some shout outs. Now, before I was singing Cynthia Erivo's praises, and I'll sing them again, right? She did an amazing job. Her and Ariana Grande have a crazy relationship, you know what I mean? Like in real life, but in terms of the characters they played, they really are great together on screen. I felt the friendship, the frustration of no longer being friends, things that transpired. But there's a person who, in my opinion, should most definitely be nominated for an Oscar here. Ethan Slater, Bach, the Tin Man, gave a performance of a lifetime. I've never been so terrified about something that I realized or recognized from my childhood in my life. He killed it. I honestly think he was channeling some of his real life drama into this role because he turns on a switch that never turns off. He doesn't even look like himself, first off. So the visuals, the makeup people and all of that working on the Tin Man, you don't even get an inkling of Ethan Slater when you're looking at the Tin Man. It's not like a mask or something. They really took their time and detailed his alter ego, let's say. Everyone's talking about his scenes as the Tin Man, and if he doesn't at least be nominated, then y'all just hating on him. Y'all just hating on the man. Listen, he made me forget about all that drama. I had to look it up, but I think he channeled some of that in this performance, and it showed. I wish I could say that Wicked for Good was 100%, but there were some issues. One of them, a disjointed timeline. In the second one, this gets closer to what we know, Dorothy, going down the yellow brick road, and that story, this kind of mixes in with it, but there's an issue. Because it's cinematic, and we're seeing so much of Dorothy and all the rest, you're looking at how the people are acting, mainly, Ethan Slater, and then the gentleman that played Fierro, who then becomes the Scarecrow. You see how they are, and it's a little darker. It's a little angrier. You're wondering, where's all this life and happiness coming when they're with Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz? Most of the public, I believe, is going into this with The Wizard of Oz in their head. They're like, oh, Dorothy, the shoes, the Wicked Witch, oh, yay. But this is a darker tone. I was trying to keep it separate, but because they show so many shots of, them walking to the wizard and, all these little snippets that we know and love from the original Wizard of Oz, it's like they were bipolar. 1 minute, they're angry that we're gonna get her, we're gonna do all these things. But then the next thing you're like, well, weren't you doing a dance number during this time? Like, where's the switch? What happened? Someone left a comment, kind of worked it out for me. The Wizard of Oz is the propaganda. Wicked storyline is what actually happened. If you go in there as a person who just loves Wizard of Oz, you might be a little confused the amount of raw feeling that the beloved characters are giving us. And lastly, I'll say this is a musical. If you have people in here who can't sing, that might not be so good. And unfortunately, she's my homegirl, martial arts and all of that, but Michelle Yeoh as Madame Marble, she acted well, but she sang a song that I was just like, it wasn't up to par with what everyone else was doing. I just call a spade, dog. I was really trying. And it just wasn't working out for her. So God bless her, but that was a letdown of the film for me, and I think you'll understand why. All in all, I give this a 4.5 out of 5. The visuals were stunning. Even the darker tone in some cases and instances actually looked better, in my opinion. The cast was 100% great, although not all of them had the vocal capacity to kind of sing in a musical. Everything else that's surrounding it, we getting to see pieces of the Wizard of Oz and really trying to thread that needle to how it all kind of works together was a great adventure that they took us on. And the reveals, even if you know what Wicked is, because it's cinematic, the reveals are even more appealing visually. If you haven't already, you need to watch Wicked for good. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this movie if you have seen it. And as always, I have more movies here, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.